You already know it's M&M Live Radio, and it's the moment you all have been waiting for.
That's right, Meesa. This young foolie shines bright in his artistry, and his light shines and inspires so many. He started off 2020 with all guns blazing as he released a highly anticipated song. Then it was amazing single after that, and now he's closing out the year with his debut album, My Life is a Beautiful Mess. And listen, we're going to talk to the man all behind the music right here, right now. We want to welcome Goodcity recording artist Aklesso to the show. Aklesso, how are you?
Good. Glad to be here.
Listen, bro, we're so happy to have you. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us here on M&M Live Radio.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to come on.
We're just so happy to have you on the show finally, because I feel like this time has gotten so far away from us. We've seen you at different events, so like now it's just a perfect opportunity to have you on the show. But before we dive deep into the album, because we have to talk about the album, we have to start off by saying congratulations on your engagement, man. Major, big congratulations from us. But we are so happy for you. But how did it feel, days leading up to the engagement, even moments before popping the question?
To be honest, my good friend John, he goes by Glees. He was like, man, I've seen you compete at the highest levels. I've seen you perform in front of thousands of people, but I've never seen you nervous in your life. And it was so nerve-wracking. Let me tell you, I was taking like deep breaths, like, he kept looking at me like, you good? Like, what's going on? And I was like, oh yeah, it's just hot outside, It was nerve-wracking, but it was, I don't know how to put it in words, but it was like a culmination of like, it's time, like it's time to like take that step. So it was a nerve-wracking thing, but also it was like a peaceful thing. Like, yeah, it's that time.
That's good.
Listen, we're so happy for the both of you. We feel like this is like just engagement season. I feel like everybody's been getting engaged and all that. So like we're so happy that you and your now fiance have started taking that next step. And we're definitely rooting for you guys. Now listen, we gotta go ahead and talk about this album, man. This debut album, My Life is a Beautiful Mess. Man, what was it about? What was it so important for you to title this to be your debut album?
I feel like you were saying earlier, like, people have heard like some singles, like some features, like, see me on tour, but they've never, like, I feel like people didn't know me as a person, like, and I wanted to give people me. And I think sometimes when we think of life, sometimes we just like to highlight the good, like we like to paint this like perfect picture of like, I got it all together, like, here I am world. And we try to put our best foot forward. And sometimes that's not our real foot, it's like social media. Like, we try to portray like everything good about ourselves, but especially artists, like we try to make it seem like we got it all together, but in reality, like, we don't, and I wanted to show people with this album I've been working so hard on, just like, yo, I'm going through it just like you, but I want to let y'all know that there's hope for tomorrow, even in the midst of all the mess.
Yeah. And I feel like the title, everyone can relate to. My life is a beautiful mess. How honest and transparent can you be, with a full-length project? And speaking of this full-length project, I gotta be honest with you, Aklesso. I've always wondered what it was like to be in the creative process of, making that debut album. And I say that only because, it's your first full-length project. And I can only imagine, what an artist experienced during that time. But what was it like for you, during that time of creating, especially in time of quarantine? What was that like for you in the creating process of My Life is a Beautiful Mess?
It was really therapeutic. Like a lot of the songs was therapy for me. Like Heaven Only Knows. Like I wrote that after George Floyd, the day after. And I was just in a place where I was just like, God, why? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. Like, is there no hope? Like, and I just felt so phony because like three times, what I'm saying, had just came out, and I'm just like, oh, you can smile regardless of whatever happens. And then it's just like, I just felt like I couldn't tell people that, I was just like, I can't tell people to smile because like I'm waking up crying, like, And that's where Heaven Only Knows came from, with the whole George Floyd, you know, incident. And I was just like, I gotta create something. Like, if you hear like the early rough drafts, it's like, there's a chant of me saying, heaven only knows, heaven only knows, heaven only knows. But in the new version, you only hear like it kind of like sampled in the background. Yeah. But it was really that, like, me essentially crying out to God, saying like, God, like, why is this happening? And then it's kind of like, from the creating process, it's just like, you know, I may not understand, but like God knows, you know. So it was like a lot of the creating process was like therapeutic. A lot of it was sad. A lot of it was like super fun. But all in all, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, I love that. Even hearing you talk about the transparency of, you know, you being even inspired and moved by the killing of George Floyd when that whole thing happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like honestly, there are a lot of songs after listening to it where you just really feel the vulnerability. Like, I felt that after hearing Wilderness. Like, I just felt so moved after listening to that. And then even hearing songs like Black Klansman and things like that, you really feel your heart. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely transpires through that. So I know that I always heard that what comes from the heart reaches the heart. So I know that if with that came from yours, it definitely reached everybody who was tuning in. And I'm so glad that you were able to pour your heart out. Listen, guys, your girls M&M are hanging out with Good City recording artist Aklessos, and we're talking all about his debut album, My Life is a Beautiful Mess. Now, listen, I want to shift gears really quick, because one of my favorite songs, even the singles, was Worst Year by you and Gavi. Yeah. And I just felt like it was just so great because everybody could relate to it. But yo, I gotta be honest with you, you totally blew me away with the short film of Worst Year. It was so beautiful. It was so moving. So the perspectives were just amazing, just hearing everybody be so transparent on how they took their year. What was that like, directing that, and even being able to hear the different stories and perspectives of your friends and loved ones and how they perceived 2020?
Yeah, it was definitely, first of all, it was fun, you know. It was fun, but also it was very moving, because like when you listen to Wolf speak, like, Wolf's my little bro, but I've never seen him emotional before, ever in my life. So when I was interviewing him, because the vocals we did in another room, it was me interviewing all the participants. When I was interviewing him, I'd never seen him cry before, you know. And there's a lot of stuff that he said that I didn't put in there, but it's just hearing him talk, I was just like, whoa, like I'd never seen this before. But I knew when we were making the song, I was just like, this can't just be a fire song. Like, it has to do more than that. So I wanted to do this short film and challenge myself, because I had never directed something of that length before. Like, I've directed music videos here and there, but I've never directed like a film before. So it was very challenging, but I knew like if I got it right, like it would help a lot of people, you know, who watched it. It would comfort people who watched it. So I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I really feel like it gave us a sense of hope. Yeah. You know, the fact that you were talking about worst year, you know, knowing that even good things can come out of your worst moments, you know, and allowing your friends and your close people and your inner circle to just be authentic with how they were feeling about this quote unquote worst year, of 2020.
But even also, I love that. I just love seeing artists get so creative with even how they put out art. You know what I'm saying? Of course, music, of course, you know, you're going to kill that, but to see you go into another element of film, I just think was just so amazing. So honestly, I really even hope that this is even a new avenue for you to even see you put out more projects, more films and short films in the future. Because it was really, really great watching.
Now, speaking of your friends, I do want to shout out, you know, Soul Flow real quick, everybody down there, you know, because y'all roll super, super deep. Every single time I see y'all on social media, y'all are always just just super there as a gang. But I just love seeing y'all together. Like, it truly is a community, you know, and that's Cassandra, that's Gavi, that's Amanda, that's Wolf, I don't want to leave anybody out, but it's so many of you. And, you know, I may not know everyone's name, but y'all are always there and always supporting each other so much. But when it came to this project, how instrumental were they when it came to the development of this masterpiece of music?
They were super super important. I think just from some of the names you said, like Cassandra, like super supportive through it all. Like, you know, just always encouraging me to keep going. That's like my sister. Gavi, he executive produced a lot of it. He produced on a lot of it, but really two people that were really, really like important to like the whole album was Gleese. That's my best friend, and Enzo, another of my best friends. Like, I think Enzo produced more, I think either produced or co-produced on at least 6 of the records. Like John did 2 of the records. So it's like, but every step of the way from all the records that didn't make the project to talking through things like Gleese and Enzo Grand, like they were 2 of the people that was just step by step the entire way. Like that was, and you know, Gleese stays down here, South Florida. Enzo lives in Jersey, but yeah, like everybody down here was like important to the development of the project because, you know, like you said, it takes a community, you know, it takes a village, you know, to come out great art. So
it definitely warms my heart just seeing y'all together. I'm not gonna lie, whether y'all just all just kicking it together, but then also even seeing y'all with the different things that y'all have, like, you know, have going on. It just seems like all of y'all just like are really there for one another. So I can only imagine how strategic they were when it came to, you know, the project, but even also just having like a family around you, like your family outside of family. Like, that's always a beautiful thing to have. Man, I'm so happy that this project is out because it just spoke to a lot of people. I just know it. And then just seeing all the streams and all the love that you've been getting for it with just a short amount of time that it's been out. I'm so happy that people have been able to receive it in a great way. One thing that I thought was so interesting was that seeing you say on social media that it was 4 years in the making, this whole project. So, you know, I know you're happy it's out. We're happy it's out. But looking back over the past 4 years, what has been the most rewarding part of seeing, you know, My Life is a Beautiful Mess come out?
The most rewarding part, 1,000%, is just people letting me know how much it's helped them. Like I think about it, like, you know, a lot of these songs I made, like Wilderness, I made in the shower. Like, like some I made in my bedroom, like, you know, at like tough times. So it's like to think like my art, like, you know, my little creativity could, you know, help someone that's going through a tough time. Like, I think that's the most rewarding part. And, you know, I hope that no matter how far or short like my career goes as an artist, like that remains like the main point, that like the music helps people, you know, because that's why I started, so I could help people that have gone through like really tough times like myself. So I just really hope like that remains the focus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good. And honestly, I feel like the part for me that I'm even glad to even hear you say is the fact that this project is 4 years in the making. To me, I don't know about everybody else, but to me, I feel like that's like good crock pot music, because a lot of times I do feel like some artists, you know, they tend to try to put something out because it's on the schedule or it's on the roster or they're next and they try to rush certain things. But the fact that you can honestly get reviews back from your fans, from everybody that's near you, from your community, and say that this project came out at such a time in which I needed it the most. That truly shows that it needed every bit of every single day throughout the past 4 years to show that it was in process to create itself to being this amazing gem of music. Because I mean, everyone, like Meah said, music is what people feel like. You know, music is what feelings feel like. And I feel like a lot of times, especially in this dark time and age for a lot of people, that's what is able to pull them out of this pit. So huge congratulations to you. Huge congratulations to your team, because I know that My Life is a Beautiful Mess is going to be around for a long time, even surpassed, even when all of us have passed on. But I just want to thank you again for just taking the time to tune in and to be here with your girls here on M&M Live Radio. But before you go, Aklesso, give everybody your social media so that they can stay connected with you.
Yeah, so I'm everywhere at Aklesso, without the E, so it's Aklsso. And you can find me anywhere. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music at Aklesso, Aklesso, and would love to connect with y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, man. Listen, make sure you guys are following Aklesso on all social media, and hear me when I say make sure you guys go check out his debut album. It's entitled My Life is a Beautiful Mess. I promise you there are turn up songs, but there are songs that are going to move you as well. I'm telling you guys, make sure you guys go get it. It's on all music platforms.
And listen, man, Aklesso, one more time, like this project is just so needed. We appreciate you for being on the show, for being as authentic as you are as an artist. Congratulations once again on the engagement, and just know that you always have our support here at M&M Live Radio. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bro?
All right. Thank you. Take care, guys.
Of course. Same to you. Same to you. Now, to everybody out there, listen, keep it where you got it, because we're about to play that new Aklesso right here, right now.
That's right. That's right. Here is Halo from Aklesso's debut album, My Life is a Beautiful Mess. Listen to this one, and we'll be right back. You're listening to, you already know,
it's M&M Live Radio.